Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. Welcome to the first match of the TGS Blood Bowl between my Chaos Dwarf team, just as planned, and Dodger's team, the Bamazons.
Yay!
What a
I am
great
terrified
venue.
to play this game, but I'm going to do my best.
You've been practicing with Krendor, who is quite the Blood Bowl player, so...
I've been practicing quite a bit. I've logged, I think, 18 hours into this game now. I've been training, so... I'm excited.
Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to press escape to turn off the terrible camera that we cannot trust. And there are two buttons you should press. This is a good tip for any Blood Bowl player. Press N and press G.
N-G?
Yep, N and then G.
Oh, what is this?
Isn't
This is a magical.
Yeah, so you know what this is going to show? It's going to show all the tackle zones, which is hugely useful. Incredibly
useful. Oh my gosh,
useful.
and it shows you what each of your people is.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
memorized their headdresses in order to know what they do. This is magical.
Yep, it's pretty sweet. So that's a tip for anyone that starts. Being cyanide isn't very good at anything. So what generally happens is you have a situation where there's a bunch of hidden features that the game never tells you about. So that's a bit of a problem.
Oh, I'm so glad I know that now.
Yep. All right, so we're currently setting up our teams. I'm just looking at your formation here. There is basically no way through that formation without going through multiple tackle zones, which makes it an exceptional formation, and I have no doubt that Krendor deliberately told you that. But that's fine.
No, I've been trying different formations and figuring out which ones are my favorites for this team, so...
Yep, nothing wrong with that. Okay. I'm gonna set mine up. I've never really been much of a formation person. My formation tends to devolve into hitting someone in the face and trying to do so in the most efficient way possible, so it's pretty hard for me to figure that out, but we'll see what we can do.
You know, with Chaos Dwarves, that's really all you need to worry about, right?
Apparently so, yeah. It seems to be the way of it. You know what I wish is that it would actually show my tackle zone. It's only showing yours right now. That would be great. I wonder what happens if I press, what was it, G? Yeah, so G just turns it off and on. Okay. Yeah, maybe there's a way to show personal tackle zones, but apparently not.
Oh, that would be nice.
It would.
Too.
Yeah, because then you could figure out
even just knowing these two things is great right now.
Yeah, because then you could see your own tackle zones. You could set up accordingly based on that. But that's all right. That's okay. Looks like we are, for the most part, pretty decent right now. Okay. Let's rock and roll, shall we? Turn off that stupid camera again, and you get to kick.
All right. All right, going for it.
Kickoff. And the kickoff event is quick snap. The offense starts their drive a fraction before the defense is ready, which means that I believe this is a benefit for you, actually.
Yeah, I think this is one of those ones
this
where...
is mine. Never mind.
It's you, okay.
Yep. Okay.
Is it the one where you can only move one square at a time?
Yeah, it allows everyone to move a single square if they so desire. So we can definitely do that if I want. I kind of don't. It's really no benefit to me right now. Before we go on, by the way, just a quick reminder for anyone who's new to Blood Bowl, turn on your dice log. And you do that by going down to the bottom left of the screen and clicking on the log button instead of the chat button. Why? Because you want to know what the dice rolls are, and you want to know why certain stuff happened, and a lot of stuff within Blood Bowl is governed by dice.
Sometimes you really don't want to know what the dice said, though.
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't make it. That's all that I want to know. I don't want to know that I rolled a 1. It's just going to upset me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I get to start the drive then, and it's time to do some fighting.
Do it.
This is what Chaos Dwarves are good at. Now, you have sensibly not put more than 3 Amazons on the line. Very good idea, because, well, there's a thing that Chaos Dwarves can do. And it kind of shuts down Amazons pretty hard, and that's the fact that their tackle skill negates the dodge skill, which is a gigantic pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start hitting people, because that's what the Chaos Dwarves are really, really good at. And I'm gonna start throwing my 2 dice blocks, and the reason I'm gonna throw 2 dice blocks is because there's way less risk of doing that than throwing a 1 dice block, which could result in a turnover, which would be absolutely dreadful. So I'm going to try and make sure that doesn't happen.
It's interesting because I got so used to being fairly impervious to turnovers because of the dodge, but being against this team, a lot of the times I'm able to be knocked over, which is hard.
Yes, that's absolutely the problem. Tackle is a really tricky thing to deal with on any dodge-heavy team, because, and not only that, but if you try and dodge through a tackle zone on a player that has tackle, it negates that dodge ability. So it makes it much harder, especially since your girls are mostly agility 3, I think. I think they're all agility 3, actually, right?
I think so. Let me check. 3, 3. Yeah, and I doubt that my thrower and my catcher are different. Yeah, they're the same.
Yep, you would be correct in that assumption. All right. Okay, time to use my 1 blitz of the turn. Tigra, you are the target.
No!
Oh!
Curses.
Their first KO of the match. Tigra is out of there.
All right, yeah, let's heal her up.
Oh, use the apothecary to keep her on the field? All right, well, that was pretty early use of the apothecary. You don't have that for the rest of the game, so...
You know, I normally just use it right off the bat because I like trying to have a strong beginning if possible.
How many players do you have on your team? Do you have 12 or 11?
Let's see, 5... 11.
Oh, going for the foul, which was successful.
Dang it. Nah.
1 is out of there already, and this is what I like to call the cage. We're not very...
It's a fairly successful looking cage.
It looks reasonable, doesn't it? It's not unbreakable, but the point of the cage is to try and force dodgy teams to come to you, because that's exactly what you don't want to be doing. And I believe that ends my turn, so turn off that stupid camera again, and let's see what you've got.
Alright, neither of my ladies can get up.
No, they were stunned. Now, stun is a bit different to just a straight-up knockdown, because it takes 2 turns to get up rather than 1.
Right. Let's see.
Now, more to the point, who do you have? You've got various catchers. Now, if you...
Fortunately, my blitzers aren't... I don't put my blitzers at the starting line, so I'm able to kind of have them as defense, but...
It's not terrible to put your blitzers on the starting line, especially since you have 4 of them, but it's just like, do you really want to even be on the starting line? Generally speaking, you put your line women there because they're kind of expendable, right? Losing a line woman is not as bad as losing one of your high-skilled players. So... that, you know, some people like to get fighty with teams like this, but against dwarves that have better armor and tackle, it's just like, why would you?
Yeah. I'll take you up in here. And I'm going to try something potentially dumb.
Okay, you sure you want to risk it now and not at the end of the turn? Just pointing out, this is a mistake that Jesse made a lot of the time, is taking stupid risks at dumb times.
No, I know.
Blood Bowl is a game about risk management, taking gambles only when necessary.
It is true.
It's generally always best to take all of your safe moves before you take anything that requires a big dice roll.
Yeah.
You know, the position that you've got there over to the right, which I believe would be your left, the catcher and the blitzer versus my 1 hobgoblin. Well, let's just say Young the hobgoblin is going to be getting slapped around a little bit.
Yeah, the hobgoblins, I've noticed, are a little bit easier to handle, especially since they don't have tackle.
Yeah, they don't have anything. I mean, they are your bog standard guys. They're 6-3-3-7, which is like just a really standard setup. They're basically worse than your Amazons in every way because they don't have any skills.
They can run a lot further than the normal Chaos Dwarves.
Oh, yeah. My Chaos Dwarves are fat and stumpy, so they ain't going anywhere. But the Hobgoblins run at the same speed as your Amazons do.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, it's my turn. Okay. Yep. All right. Now...
It's all you.
Now, what's kind of cool for you here is the fact that you've left some of your line women down, even though, like, I don't think you had a choice in that. I'm pretty sure they were both stunned. But just bear in mind, like, this is something a lot of players make the mistake of, is in certain circumstances, you don't want to get up. Because if you do, then you get hit again. Which, on a low armor team, never a good idea.
So this way they're still blocking an area,
exactly.
Can't get hit.
Absolutely. All right. Now, you've got a pretty decent setup here. Now, I'm going to have to try and start to break this, which is going to be kind of tricky because I'm going to have... You're forcing me to throw 1 dice blocks here, which is... I mean, I have the edge with a 1 dice block because I have block and tackle, which means that things work out better for me, but a 1 dice block means a 1 in 6 chance of completely screwing up and ending in a turnover. So I'm just looking for any possibility of something that would end up in a better dice roll, and it looks like we don't have any yet. But I can make that. Now, that's something that I can create by bringing in players to assist. So I'm going to attempt to do just that, and I have found one that will allow me to hit you pretty hard, and I'm going to beat on your blitzer.
Aw, man, tackle, no!
Yes, all the tackle. Every tackle. Absolutely. So there's a hit on the blitzer there. I was deciding whether or not to move forward. You sometimes want to.
I was going to say.
Sometimes you don't. Like with Amazons, you often just want to kick them away because you don't want to be hit when they get back up. Because
exactly, you don't necessarily want to be next to them unless you're trying to create like a running line.
Pretty much, yeah. Alright, let's look at the kind of situation we've got going on. Okay, things are looking alright there. I'm gonna move my Chaos Dwarf over here. Now, I only have 4 minutes, so I don't want to take too much time. What I'm going to be trying to do, you know, which should be obvious, it's not like this is revealing some kind of grand scheme, is move my cage up, right? So that, my cage is there, but it's slowly moving up the field, and you're being forced to fight it. So what I'm looking at here is I'm looking for anything that isn't a 1 dice roll, and it looks like I'm probably not going to get any of them because you've got a lot of tackle zones here, so I don't have the guard skill, so I can't negate that. So let's start throwing some 1 dice blocks and see what happens.
Woohoo!
So first things first, I'm going to throw a 1 dice block here with the hope of pushing her away, or just knocking her down. That works too.
Or just knocking me down.
Yeah, I can do that. There we go. And there's a smack.
And ploop.
Tasia does it down, and that gives me a 2 dice block against your thrower, which actually results in a push.
That's just a shove, thank goodness.
Yep, just a shove. Nothing particularly special about that, although I'm going to bring in Symbol, the Chaos Dwarf, to help out here. Yeah, I can throw a 2 dice block against someone with dodge. That's okay. I still have my blitz available, which might not turn out all that well. I don't really have... I've only got 2 hobgoblins left, so it's like, do I blitz with the hobgoblin? I could go for a going 1 dice against someone with dodge and block. That's super dumb, and you should never do it, by the way. Just a little pro tip there. Of course, I could get a little bit violent. I'm going to throw this 2 dice block, and then I might get a little bit violent here. Ah, it's another push.
Shove.
Another push. Not so good, not so good, but... You know, this is going to end up being rather interesting. And then I think I might go and possibly maybe just kick your downed player here.
Oh, come on, ref.
Oh, there's a knockout again, and the ref is blind. Ref is blind.
What's up with that?
And there we go. That's...
Does it have to do with... I've wondered this. Does it have to do with fan factor, whether or not the ref cares?
No, it's if you roll a double. If you roll a double in the injury roll, so you see like on the dice block there... So I rolled once to break your armor. I had to roll 8+ on 2d6 to do that, which I succeeded in doing. And then for the injury, I think it's the injury roll. I'm pretty sure it's the injury roll. If you roll a double, then you get sent off, and that's an immediate turnover. So fouling is pretty risky. There are certain skills that can kind of modify it to make it more in your favor, but it's still a pretty risky move.
Yeah.
That's why you never do it in the middle of a turn. You always do it at the end. To me, I'm okay losing a hobgoblin to get rid of one of your line women, especially on this drive, because that puts you a couple of players down. All right, so you're throwing blocks at me, and you got a good one there by the looks of it. Down goes my Chaos Dwarf blocker.
Can't attack any of that.
Now, of course, what you're trying to avoid is the double red dice, the infamous double red dice that mean that I get to pick the result, which is generally not a good block to throw.
It's just not, I'm just not into that.
Yeah, and Knorr did a great little beginner's guide that says, one of the rules as a beginner is you're not allowed to throw double reds, ever. Because you just don't, beginners don't understand the game good enough to understand when it's a good idea to throw those double reds.
Yeah.
You're considering blitzing the guy with the ball, eh?
No, he's a double red.
Yeah, exactly. No, you won't. What you need to do is start to break up that formation if you want to get the ball from me.
Yeah. All right. Scoot over here.
Nice. Yep, not going... I think you dodged out of a tackle zone there, actually. You dodged out without the dodge skill. That was actually kind of risky. That was a 50-50.
Boom.
Nice. That was the dodge skill being used. That's good. I mean, that you were dodging out, I think, of the tackle zone of a hobgoblin there, so your dodge actually kicked in and gave you a bonus. So that's good.
Right.
You're actually ganging up quite nicely over to the right there.
Nope.
Still looking for blitzers.
Yep.
Now, usually what will happen is, if you attack a player that has a number of your friendly players around it, you get assists. But, because they're also in range of other guys, they're kind of preoccupied, right? So, that means that the assists don't necessarily count. So you throw 1 dice against him, which ends up being a push, which could be useful. You might be able to break this formation up here.
I'm gonna push everybody over to the side.
That's nice. You've kind of opened my cage up a little bit.
That was the hope.
Yep.
I mean, the cage can reform around it pretty easily.
It can, but that's going to involve me going through tackle zones, right? Which is terrible with blockers, because these guys are agility 2, so you've got to roll like a 5+, which is a terrible roll to make.
I'm also going to do this.
Okay, nice. Once again, dodging out of a Hobgoblin's tackle zone with a dodge player, totally viable. Dodging out of a Chaos Dwarf's tackle zone, not so much. So, yeah, you pretty much did everything right there, I think. That's good. All right, let's see.
Oh, thanks.
It's cool. You know, here's the thing, right? If I win this, I'm going to be hated. And if I lose this, I'm going to be laughed at. So I'm just screwed for this game. So I'm just trying to be as helpful as possible, because otherwise people are going to shout at me. All right, let's start breaking up this formation here. So I had a bunch of 1 dice blocks, so that's why I removed this blitzer from the equation, so I can throw a 2 dice block against your other woman who...
Yeah, shove her.
Give her a shove out the way, which is nice, because that means the Chaos Dwarf blocker can now actually move. The question is, do I want to? Because it would be nice to get in range of a touchdown, that would be cool, but it also leaves him dangerously exposed.
But at what cost?
But at what cost? Yeah, well, I'm going to go forward a little bit, and I'm going to see if I can kind of form the cage around him and make sure that you can't get the ball back. Now, of course, I don't want to go next to the line. This is the mistake that I think that a lot of players make. It's like, oh, it'd be a really good idea to stand next to the sideline. No, it isn't. It's a terrible idea.
Not in this game. You can get shoved out and punched to death.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do it. It's an awful, awful move most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. All right, let's see what other fighting we can do. Okay, so I can actually outnumber your blitzer and your line woman here, which will give me some better rolls. And I'm going to start with a 2 dice roll against your blitzer here, which is going to result in your blitzer getting smacked about a little bit.
Get her down.
There's a stun. Now, I could throw a 2 dice block. This is not a particularly risky move. It would be nice if I had block and tackle, so you might be getting out of this one, but I'm going to throw this anyway. Oh, and that's a bad result. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I think I might actually use a reroll here. There we go. And you're getting out of it anyway, because lol dodge. This is why dodge is one of the best skills in the game.
It's a great skill.
Yeah. Because that defender stumbles, doesn't matter. You're too sneaky, you're too fleet of foot, so I can't do a damn thing.
Yeah, at first when I was playing with this team, against a lot of the other teams, I kept going, man, other teams have the one huge tank, it seems like. Yeah. But it's not even an option for me. That's so silly. And then once I realized how great having dodge for literally every single starting player is, I was like, it kind of evens out.
Yeah, it does. Amazons are a really strong team for that reason. Like, as a starting team with dodge on everybody, that's huge. Dodge and block are 2 of the biggest skills in the game because they drastically prevent the number of turnovers that you would otherwise get. So that's huge. All right. So,
blitz.
I was thinking about it. I mean, it's going to be 1 dice one way or the other. So, it's like, unless I want to reposition my Chaos Dwarf blocker, which I absolutely don't want to do, then is there a way around this? Aha! So, a pro tip. Cyanide Blood Bowl is dumb, right? Because if I blitz from here, and that's going to be, oh, I'm going to take the shortest distance, that puts me in assist range of your line woman, which means I roll 1 dice. However...
Right.
If I move him around here and then blitz him from the other side, like this, I get a 2 dice roll, which ends up in a push anyway. Cue Blood Bowl.
But you know what? You thought it through. Yeah, that's what matters.
Exactly. You know, I made a roll that was safer. So I now have... That's not a safe roll. It's 1 dice against the line woman. Probably won't result in anything, but it's not a terrible roll. It's like a 1 in 6 chance of me getting a turnover. But it is the end of my turn anyway, so I'm going to take that roll. And that results in a push.
Fantastic.
So I'm going to shove you around a little bit,
Boom.
and then I'm going to close that gap, and that is going to be my turn done. Pretty sure there's nothing else I can do, so forward. Your turn.
All right. Get up, Lion-O. You have Thundercats to defend.
Let's see what she can do. It's actually a pretty good situation for you. You've got 3 people versus my 2, and you... We're all strength 3, right? So you're actually going to be able to get a dice advantage here.
Yeah, I have doubles on. Man. Alright. Okay. She can't get up.
Yep, she's stunned.
And
So she's not getting up till next turn.
One. That's a red, which I don't want.
Definitely not the start of your turn.
Okay. Well, which one? I think this one. All right,
good result.
So I'm going to do that, and no, I don't want to follow you.
And that's one of the situations where I would have said you should have. And the reason being, it gives you a free move away from that Chaos Dwarf's tackle zone. Because tackle doesn't come into effect when you do a follow-up.
Right.
It's not the worst thing in the world, but there are some limited times when you do want to follow, because it lets you move a square around the pitch that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to without having to roll yet another dice to do it, right? But it's okay. I mean, it's not really a big deal. You would have still had to run out of this guy's tackle zone anyway.
Right.
So now you're in a situation where I guess... yeah, Lion-O just got up, so she can't really do anything. You can actually blitz, like from down, you can actually blitz out of a down, which is quite nice, but it's only useful in certain circumstances.
You can do what?
So if your player's down, usually you get back up and you can't block, right? But if you blitz, he gets up and then blitzes, which is kind of great.
I've seen other teams do that, and I've never done it before.
Yeah, there are certain circumstances where it's useful.
It's just when they're down, you just select to blitz, and then they get up and... Oh.
Yep. So it's like, if you look at your team composition, you think, well, there's no one here that would be really useful to blitz. I can throw an extra block this turn if I use my blitz on someone that's down.
Right. Okay. I'm going to try this.
Okay. Ooh, goes for the dodge. Right. Ah, nice positioning. Okay. As my cage is not that great. There's only 3 people there.
Wait, do I have... I don't have any other double hits, right? No. Okay.
Take whatever doubles you can get.
Okay. And then I'm going to move her down here. And... that's so risky. It's not so risky. It's just risky enough that I don't want to do it.
Sometimes you gotta take risks.
That's true. That is so true.
Bear in mind, you still have rerolls. You've got all 4 of your rerolls intact.
I do.
There's a bit of shoving going on.
Yeah. But now... That might not have been a good idea.
I'm just waiting for it to actually show me what happened.
Oh, really? It hasn't shown you yet?
Nope. It hasn't shown me anything, actually. I'm hoping the game hasn't frozen up.
Well, this will be my last move, so I'm going to try it. Yeah, okay, nice. Cool. End of turn.
Cool.
Your turn.
All right, that seemed to work out pretty well. All right, so what situation am I currently in? Well, one of my Chaos Dwarves is flat on his ass, doing nothing useful, so we're going to change that. There we go, that makes things a little bit better. It's still 1 dice, but it's not dreadful. All right, so the cage is the situation right now. Something has to be done about this. Now, I'm thinking I can just throw a 2 dice block there and things will be just fine. I can also fight here, and I'm thinking that might be a pretty good idea, because I'm fairly sure I can get some 2 dices against you here. I'm just trying to figure out where. It looks like I don't have... It's the lack of guard that's really killing me here. But I think maybe there are some situations where I could make this work. There we go. I found myself a 2-dice block. And I'm going to throw that.
Oh, tackle, no!
Every time. It's like, oh, oh, no, I'm not.
Oh,
Like,
oh, no!
Oh, there's a KO. Another line woman is down for the count.
Dice are not in my favor.
I'm just going to check your area. What have we got? 3. Oh, is that 3 KOs? There we go. And you've burned your apothecary already. Okay, so I want to really try and start injuring your team now. I mean, just providing delicious and wonderful chocolates for your team.
Right.
Yeah, those are things that will happen.
Of friendship.
Naturally.
Because we're obviously, like, besties.
Yeah, certainly.
Right? Yeah.
The long alliance between the Chaos Dwarves and the Amazons is well known and charted throughout history. Now that gives me a 2-dice block against...
Oh, man. Oh, no!
Bam, bam, bam. All right.
Oh.
It's another stun.
Dang.
Okay, I've got a 2-dice... Now, I don't want to throw this yet because this is kind of more important. If I get a turnover here, which would be highly embarrassing, then I won't be able to do what I want to do to break this cage, so...
Right.
I've got an idea. And the Hobgoblin's gonna be the one doing it. That was good enough. I only needed a shove to get you out of there, and now this will result. Yeah, I can afford to do that.
Got a better hit on me now?
Right. Okay, so it's a shove. That's okay. I want to try and... I'm trying to deal with your tackle zone issue here and doing the best I possibly can. So me or the Hobgoblin, forward you go.
Me?
This is still kind of awkward, but not impossible. It's like, I really, really want to get to that end zone. I'm 1 square away from going for it. I could do it, but... Let's just see. So your catcher could...
You should go for it, TV.
No. Don't roll any dice that you don't need to. Don't try and break me out of my Blood Bowl habits. It's not going to work.
I don't know what you mean.
There's some kind of trickery at play here. So I can either throw a 2-dice block or I can foul your line woman. 2-dice block against someone with dodge and block is not... It's not great, but it's a decent-ish roll. And it results in bugger all useful. So I guess we're just shoving you around a little bit. Okay, there we go.
But at least you went for it.
And that's the greatest gift of all. Alright, your turn.
Okay.
So you're in a situation where next turn my Chaos Dwarf blocker is going to score without having to roll the dice to do it.
Yeah, I have to take a chance here.
Which is exactly the situation I was hoping to put you in. But then, unfortunately, I don't have any of my Chaos Dwarves out there, so you've still got dodge, remember?
Yes.
I just want to point out we're 8 turns into this game and no one's had a single turnover yet.
I know! That is amazing!
It's statistically likely if everyone's playing properly. It is not statistically likely if your name is Jesse Cox.
Oh, poor Jesse. He's training.
Yes, training. That's a good way to put it.
He's doing all the training, and he will become another passable player.
The very best. We'll see.
Oh, gosh. I don't want to risk, man. I feel like all of my extraneous players out here, it's going to be a risk of a turnover if I move them. So I feel like I should just go for...
There's one player you can move that isn't risky, that could potentially prevent this. And in fact, you're in a pretty decent position to make that work. Everyone else does have some risk associated with them. Admittedly, you want to manage that risk.
I'm actually not sure who you mean. Everybody, I think if I move them, has to go through a zone.
There's one person that doesn't. You see near my Chaos Dwarf blocker that's almost near the end zone, you see that line woman? She doesn't have to.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, I know. But that's why I was like, I think that's the move that I have to do first, because everybody else might
Everyone else is a
over.
risk. Exactly. There's actually... Oh, you're going to blitz with her? Okay. That was a mistake. Oh!
Dang it! Are you kidding me? I shouldn't have rerolled!
Oh! It was going to be a turnover if you hadn't rerolled. That was unfortunate.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I had to go for it, though.
You didn't? There's one thing. What I would have done in that situation was actually to just move her into range so that she was marking the target, like she was ahead of the Chaos Dwarf blocker, not actually punch him.
Yeah.
And then what I would have done is take the other line woman that's right next to the Hobgoblin, right next to the edge of the pitch, and then blitz with her because she's got dodge. So chances are she's getting out of that tackle zone with the Hobgoblin to punch the blocker in the face with the dice advantage. That's what I would have done.
That's true.
But that was unfortunate. Again, it happens. Right, now, what I can do here is I could go to score, or I can take a lot of pretty safe rolls to do more damage before I then score, because there's now no chance of you stopping that.
I mean, feel free to score. That's cool.
Would you prefer me to score rather than beating up a bunch of your Amazons?
I mean, you do what you want. I'm just saying, if you wanna, just like not do the beating up thing, that would be cool.
Unfortunately, it is in my Chaos Dwarf nature to start throwing blocks. It's just what we do. They're called Chaos Dwarf blockers. They get really antsy if they don't do that.
That's true. You have to keep them happy as their coach.
You kind of do. I mean, you've had no injuries so far. Uh-oh. Welp.
And now I have a broken jaw. TD, thanks. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
It seems like my sacrifices to the great god of the dice, Nuffle, did a really real number on you this time. Jesus. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, it's only a broken jaw. That is mixed. The thing is, if it was minus attributes, that would have been way worse, right? You miss next game. Yeah. That kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world.
Anything like broken hip that impedes your movement or anything like that is just the worst.
Minus strength is probably one of the worst things I've seen. Like, I saw a goblin get minus strength, take his strength down to 1. I was like, you're not going to be punching anybody.
That's so sad.
It kind of is, but I don't have any sympathy for goblins, so... Alright, I'm going to blitz that blitzer over there. There we go. Forward, and...
Shove. No!
Nope, no shove for you. Sorry.
Oh, gosh, no. Come on.
It's okay. She's not dead yet.
I know.
Now, I think now I'm actually going to have to run this home because I don't want to throw any more blocks and I don't want to foul you because I know what's going to happen. What Nuffle giveth, Nuffle taketh away. So, he's going to send my guy off and then you're going to get that line woman out of the tackle zone and successfully blitz my blocker and everything's going to go wrong. So, I'm going to go for it.
Do it.
There it is.
Touchdown.
The mighty touchdown. The slowest touchdown in Blood Bowl history, but it did happen.
All right. I got to step it up this next time.
Well, I mean, it's at the end of the drive, which means you have a chance of all your KO'd players getting up again. Actually, you're getting lucky. 3 of your KO'd players are getting up.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's nice. If they hadn't, then this next 2 turns... Well, let's just say the next 2 turns might have been a bit painful for you.
Yeah, for sure.
So it looks like you've got a reasonable amount of strength on the field there, so that's good.
That was turn 4 or turn 5?
I think it was it turn 5 or turn 6, actually? It was looks like it was turn 5.
Okay.
Okay, so you still have you could still score before the halftime quite easily.
Yeah, there's possibility to score,
yep.
Perhaps.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see what we have. God, I have this feeling that I didn't watch that Knorr video properly, and there is a way to show my tackle zones. And I'm feeling like a colossal idiot for not being able to figure out how. But
just press all the buttons.
Pretty much. Like, G seems to be what shows the grid. And then N is names. You can also, like, N cycles through some other stuff. Like, team... It's got your player numbers, your player names. It also has a bunch of dice information that I can't even read because it's, like... advanced calculus, so I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that actually shows you stuff like what the dice rolls would be on blocks before you actually do them, so that's really helpful.
Yeah, that is helpful.
But I can't figure it out because I have no mathematical skill at all. All right, so you actually only have 2 on the line there. All right. I thought you had to... Oh, there you go. I was going to say you have to have a minimum of 3. I think this is a mistake Jesse made, and he whined about it because he only put 1 on the line because he didn't want to get beaten up, and then it forces you to put 2 more.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's like you have to have 3. It's designed to stop dodgy teams from just being able to completely avoid the guys at the front because that would just be, well, 1, cowardly, and 2, no fun whatsoever.
Yeah.
All right, time to kick. Let's see where we go.
I'm ready.
All right.
Bring it.
Now, Chaos Dwarves are not known as the best kickers in the world, so this could go anywhere.
Oh, it's okay. My
god
team's
damn.
terrible at it.
Pitch invasion is going on. Both coaches roll a dice for each opposite player on the pitch and add their fame to the roll. If a roll is 6 or more after modification, then the player is stunned. Players with the ball and chain skill are KO'd. A roll of 1 before adding fame will always have no effect. This is actually bad for me, isn't it?
Is it? I don't even know if I understand this.
Because I have a higher fame rating. So I'm going to hit it, and...
Yeah.
Oh, good...
Oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
gosh, no way, what is happening?
Well, Jesus, that was rough.
That was awful. That was the worst.
Well, I only got... only one of my hobgoblins got knocked out, so I'm kind of okay with that. It looks...
I think that went well for you because of the
fan factor.
rating.
Yeah, I actually invested a lot into fan factor, which means I get a +1 modifier on a lot of this stuff, so...
All right, Snarf, you better pick this up. Do not fumble this.
Nice. There you go.
Thank God. I had to re-roll for it, but that's okay.
Yeah. A little tip, by the way, in future, for anyone wanting to pick up the ball, try and put some players next to the person who's going to try and kick up the ball before you do it. Because what happens is...
Yeah, because they can possibly catch it.
You'll still get a turnover because you failed, but at least you then have the ball and it's not on the floor, which means you would have had to roll another pickup. So it's all about minimizing dice rolls and risk. Alright, but you still have plenty of time to score this round, so... I've got to be careful.
Fingers crossed.
Well, my Chaos Dwarf blockers are also in completely the wrong place because all of your line women are down on the ground here. Oh!
It's okay. It was my last move for it, and I was like, I'll go for it.
This actually sucks for me because I've got 5 Chaos Dwarf blockers that can't do a damn thing, and they're like standing around. It's like, well, there's nobody to punch. It was really smart to keep those line women down.
What do we do? Can they reach? How far is there? Wait.
Oh, can they get to you? Yeah, they can.
They can get
totally
right in front of me.
Yeah, totally. And that's what I'm going to be doing. But I would have preferred just to punch you. I'm just being honest about my intentions.
I'm sorry
here.
I've robbed you of that.
I don't have any ulterior motives. I'm very honest about what I want to do. So, oh god, this is actually a nice little setup you've got here. I would love to just blitz the girl with the ball, but that's not actually going to happen. So, this is a wonderful situation for fouling, though. So, I'm thinking...
Aw, come on.
All I'm saying is it's a legitimate hobgoblin tradition. And I can't deny them that because they'll get upset.
Ref!
No. The ref is understanding. He's a very tolerant ref. He understands different cultures. How many people can we gang up on this one line woman?
No!
Let's try 5.
This is the worst.
This is a +5 modifier. Please don't send my hobgoblin off. Yes! Doesn't injure you. God damn it.
Oh, thank goodness. She's only just... Oh.
That could have gone a lot worse for you. I actually rolled really bad dice.
That could have gone so poorly.
Oh, man. Okay. That was kind of a waste of resources, actually, because now half of my guys are on the wrong side of the field, but we'll see what we can do. It's violence.
I mean, I'm cool with it.
I gotta do it. I gotta do it. It's what I do. I mean, I do the violence thing. That's what my team is good at. Oh, I can't blitz from this range. God, I actually screwed this up a bit. I was hoping to use my blitz to get into range and punch you, but...
You were just so excited to stomp the snot out of my line woman.
Yeah, I guess that kind of overrides my tactical genius, doesn't it? Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start taking risks, because it's 2 turns for me before the end, and I still have 3 rerolls, which means I should start burning rerolls to get them all back at the next half, so... I'm going to start taking some risks.
Oh, Blitzy.
Yep, we're going to blitz. Blitzing your blitzer with a hobgoblin, yeah, let's re-roll that.
I mean, feel free to choose. I mean...
Oh, well.
It's cool.
Okay, there we go. So we got a little bit of a cage going on here, and I think that's pretty much all I want to move, so let's end that turn.
Get up, girl.
Yep, she needs to be involved in this somehow. I mean, you have throwers and catchers, so... There is a move that I could never pull off, which involves, you know, just getting a catcher downfield and just throwing the ball past my...
Yeah.
My players are really bad at doing anything involving the ball that isn't running with it. So there are some situations where, you know, getting the ball to a thrower, for instance, and then getting a catcher downrange would be a great idea to completely bypass everything I can possibly do.
Right. Do that. Get you up.
The question is, can you break my little blockade?
Yeah.
Bear in mind, if you try and dodge with that blitzer, you are in tackle zones with players that have tackle, so your dodge isn't going to work.
Right.
You can still do it, but it's riskier. Alright, so Hobgoblin's going down flat on his face by the looks of it. Okay, so this is looking a bit better for you.
Can I move you?
You can try.
I can
Dwarves
try.
don't really like that sort of thing. They prefer standing still. I think the only team that prefers standing still more is probably the tree men.
Oh, I played against a halfling team, by the way, and you are so right.
Freaking tree men.
It is.
Oh, the halflings? Did you just destroy them or what?
Yeah, they were the first team that I ever fought on hard, and I was like, this is silly.
Yeah.
Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. The halflings are just generally awful. They're the worst team in the game. Although, I gotta say, I actually played against a vampire team, and I think they might be worse. Like, for a player that's really bad, vampires are actually even worse because you can totally screw yourself over as a vampire team. It's just silly.
Really?
Yeah, the thing about vampires is the vampire characters have really good stats, right? Like, they're really good across the board at almost everything. They've got a lot of skills to start with. Problem is, they've got something called Bloodlust, which means that every time you want to do anything with them, you've got to roll a dice. You roll a 1, and they have to feed upon the nearest thrall, and that injures the thrall. If they don't feed, they get sent off, and it ends their turn. It's the stupidest thing. It's just so bad.
Oh, man. Well, I kind of knew that would happen, right? I shouldn't have got her up.
I don't know. I mean, it helped you out a lot there, but it meant an extra player that I had to break in order to get a 2-dice block against your blitzer, which is exactly what I'm about to throw.
Ah, God.
All right, who's going to get the ball? Oh, god damn it. That's bad for me. Crap. I don't want you to have that ball because you're outside of my cage. This sucks. I actually don't really have a solution to this yet. I'm going to figure this out. Okay. First things first, let's throw a few more 2-dice blocks against your line women. Well, that didn't work out so well. I don't...
Oh, what I was going to say, though, is my most recent bane in this game is when you hire a mercenary and they have loner.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And they just won't reroll. They're like, nah, I'd rather just trip. Oh, what happened? No, you killed one of my girls! Why? TV, I thought we were cool. I thought we were bros.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
You're not sorry, though.
I kind of am. Like, I'm mostly sorry. I mean, I like it, don't get me wrong, but I'm still I feel bad about it. Does that make me a better person?
Well, speaking of mercenaries, I'm gonna hire one for the next game.
I guess you'll be actually given a loner player, so you should be okay there.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's...
Oh, man.
That's horrible. I am really sorry.
You're rolling good against me right now.
Yeah, Nuffle is being kind to me right now, and I'm going to have to do something that Nuffle will probably hate me for, which is a 1-dice blitz through a go-for-it zone against a line woman. But if I don't do that, then she could actually just break free completely, so...
It's true. Gotta take risks, right?
Gotta take risks, gotta take risks. I don't want to do it with my Chaos Dwarf, because he's going to have to go through 2 tackle zones to do that, which sounds like a dreadful plan. Alright, Hobgoblin, it's time for you to prove your worth amongst the Chaos Dwarf
gotta step
team.
up, Hobgoblin.
Go, Hobgoblin. Please don't
Bring
fail. He gets in the go for it. Oh, bollocks. It's okay. I have a reroll. It's okay. Yes.
No!
Yes.
Oh, what a good reroll.
Yes.
Somebody catch it. No, badly hurt. Why?
Oh, you still have the ball. God damn it. Give it back. Oh, man. And, oh, dear. Just, I'm starting to kind of feel sorry for you here because these rolls are just ridiculous.
Yeah, you're rolling really good.
I mean, it's not that I don't have the advantage in terms of rolls. I'm rolling 2 dices all the time with block and tackle as my main skills, so most of them are going to come out in my favor. But even then, I should have rolled something bad by now. This is where it's going to come back and bite me in the ass in the second half. I can see it coming.
Oh, I mean, I won't be sad.
No, and I wouldn't blame you at all. That's totally fine.
I'd like to kill a couple hobgoblins. That would be cool.
Alright, I can actually get up this one hobgoblin, can't I? Alright, and then run him forward, and that'll be it. Oh, man. This is pretty brutal.
Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe in the next half you need to try and avoid contact. So what essentially has now happened is that I have an overall strength advantage because I have more players on the field than you do. So hopefully, like, your other KO player gets back on the field and you have, like, a reasonable number of players. You need to avoid contact with my players. Thankfully,
I really do.
I can't catch up to you as a Chaos Dwarf blocker without rolling 2 go for it because my movement is 4. So if I want to go 6 and keep up with you, I've got to roll 2 go for it, which is like a 2+ roll twice, which is terrible. You should never... I mean, you can do that, but it's, like, it's risky, right? Because if I fall over, it's turnover. So I think you need to play a bit of kind of keep away and try and stay away from getting involved in these big scrums because they're not working out for you. It's like I sort of feel bad, but I know I've got to go up against the Krendorians pretty soon, so I really don't want to be behind in
The
terms of
Krendorians
points.
are pretty hardcore.
Jeez, yeah, I don't want to go up against them without the enough skill points. So this is gonna be, it's gonna happen.
Okay, she can't hit him at all.
Bear in mind that this is turn 7, so it's unlikely that you can score. Like,
all that I can do is keep you from scoring.
Yeah, I think it's
right
actually impossible for you to score. Like, it's getting to the point where you want to just get your players out of this big, massive Chaos Dwarves and not get punched again.
Yeah.
There we go. So you used a reroll there. Good. Get the ball away from me. Prevent me from scoring another touchdown. And prevent me from punching you.
Yes. That's the plan.
Yeah, pretty much.
And now she's kind of screwed, but
she can take a dodge out. I mean, you know, she might get injured, but she's going to get injured if she stays there because I'm going to punch her. So.
Yeah.
And I can get 2 dice blocks against both of your blitzers, which is not good. So it's up to you. Bear in mind, you've already burned your 1 reroll this turn. You can't use another one. You can only use 1 reroll every turn.
Yeah, but at halftime they...
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. It's just if you were going to take an action where you were relying on a reroll, don't. Because you can't.
Yeah.
The only reroll you're going to get is from that blitzer getting out of the Hobgoblin's tackle zone.
Get her up and then... No, that's not what I wanted to do! Oh, shoot!
The game sadly does not have an undo button, I'm afraid.
It does not. No. I accidentally... Oh, man. Okay, that's okay.
Oh, your blitzer's standing around for that one. There we go. Oh, God, Nuffle is starting to come back at me now. It's like, I gave you the benefit of the doubt for a while, and now I'm going to start screwing you. Because that would have been... If I didn't have block, that would have been turnover immediately, which would have absolutely sucked. This is my last turn. I cannot score. But I can do some damage.
You can try to kill some of my ladies.
Not that I would do such a thing.
No, of course not.
No, not that.
Chaos Dwarves are peaceful.
Yeah.
Fun-loving people.
Oh, I mean, they're definitely fun-loving. That's certainly...
Their definition of fun is just a little bit skewed.
I mean, it's not so much skewed
in modern
per
society.
se. I mean, it's... In terms of being chaos gods, you know, being chaos dudes, and it's like, well... Oh,
God!
This is... Oh, I'm feeling terrible. Everyone's gonna hate me now, but I got sent off. There we go, the first bad...
Oh, that's what's up.
My Hobgoblin got sent off.
Yeah, ref. Yeah!
Unfortunately, he also broke your ribs in the process, but...
Shh, don't worry about it.
I'm just looking at the number of active players you currently have on the field. It's not looking good. That was your last reroll. Okay, so you're getting away from me. Good. Smart. There's like what there's.
I mean, it's halftime. It doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean,
but...
your blitzer can throw a good block against Hobgoblin. It is 1 dice, but there's a nice hit on my other Hobgoblin as well. You can throw that, but you've got dodge and block, so you still have a statistical advantage, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's push.
I figure I can attempt to maybe do a little bit of damage, but it's not. It's not doing much, but I can try.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's certain situations. I mean, Hobgoblin's got the same armor as you do, so that you can totally injure them, especially if you can gang up on them. It's just like throwing blocks against Chaos Dwarves, who have armor 9, is just... And they have thick skull, which just makes them super dickish.
Yeah. Oh, should I try this?
You gonna try something risky?
Well, not really. Nah, maybe I shouldn't.
Just
I just want revenge,
weigh up the
Chibi.
options. Weigh up the options. See if it's worth doing.
It's not. End of turn.
All right.
Halftime.
There's the halftime whistle, and we can analyze the damage. Some delicious Orca Cola would be nice. It's like, all of these are clearly copyright infringing, by the way. Please don't sue us.
Oh, God.
Your knocked out player is not getting up either, so that's unfortunate.
No.
3 injuries and a death thus far.
Halftime is going to be rough.
Well, what this is going to do, at least, is this is going to mean your team value plummets, but it does mean you get inducements for, like, the rest of the season. So you can start to bring in star players, you can start to do all sorts of crazy shenanigans.
Okay.
Plus, you still get money for losing. In fact, sometimes you get more money for losing, because the game's dumb like that.
Well, it's your winnings are all based on a roll.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much. Like, I'm pretty sure you get a
that
modifier if you win.
You have the option to reroll.
Yeah, it's also your fame value as well. So.
Oh my God! Look at how few ladies I have. Okay, girls.
Okay, so you're down to 6 players, and I have 11. All right. So, if I were to recommend a strategy here, it would be, for the love of God, avoid fighting me directly. Try to get a hold of the ball, keep it away from all my dudes, and if you're going to take blocks, take it against hobgoblins and take it when you have 2 dice block rolls.
Okay, wait.
I'm pretty sure, don't you have to have, I think you've got to have 3 at the scrum line, so.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to even cover anything.
Well, you have 1 catcher and you've got 1 thrower. This is really good news because you can do something I can't do, which is actually throw the ball downfield and not fuck up.
The thing is, I have never had success with either of them.
The first time for everything, right? And it's the throwing like procedure requires a number of dice rolls, like the first one being to successfully throw. Like you might just fumble the ball on a 1, right? And then the other one is to successfully catch. Now, your thrower has the pass skill, which means you can re-roll the fumble or an inaccurate pass, which is great. Your catcher has the catch skill, which I think allows you to re-roll the catch if you screw it up. So, overall, you put the odds in your favor. Cheering fans, I get an extra re-roll. Okay.
No! Fans, come on!
The fans need to get behind you here, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just landed right next to your thrower. That's good news for you.
Yeah, that's not too bad. All right, please pick this up. I need you to not mess this up.
She's got it.
Oh, thank God.
The question is, what does she want to do with it? So.
Yeah, does she pass it or does she?
Well, just remember this: passing the ball and successfully passing the ball gives you skill points.
I know it does.
Which is really good because that allows you to build your team members up, which is kind of important.
Well, nobody's up in our grill yet. Maybe I'll. But.
It is a risk, but you still have 4 rerolls, so like you can reroll a lot here to not mess this up.
You can waste all your rerolls on this pass and catch if you want, Dodger. I mean, just you know, I won't mind.
Bear in mind, you can't move any of your other players. You've got to do this pass now, and if you're gonna make that decision,
I can't click off of her. That's why I'm like, do I want to do this?
It's not a terrible roll, I don't think. It looks all right. It's not a long distance pass, so it shouldn't be that tricky. You can totally pull this off. It's either that or you start throwing blocks against my wall of Chaos Dwarves, which is not going to go in your favor because it's 3 on 5. But it is, of course, up to you.
Just do it.
You doing it?
Nail it, please.
Oh.
You dummy. You dumb dummy. I hate them so much.
Well, it was a successful pass. It's just something went wrong in between.
Chitara is the worst catcher ever.
Never trust the ball to Chitara. And now unfortunate things are about to happen to that front line.
Dang it.
Unless, of course, Nuffle is not generous today. We'll see. Alright. Well, Nuffle's not exactly giving me the best dice rolls ever. This is where the double skulls come out and there's a massive comeback. Well, your blitzer refuses to fall over. Let's try again. God damn it. Like, well, that was lame. It's like 5 Chaos Dwarf blockers resulted in 1 stun. Yeah. Awesome. Well done, guys. You're justifying your salary to me.
Thank goodness. Yeah, now's your chance, Chaos Dwarves. It's time to start messing up.
Just waiting for that opportunity.
I would be way cool with it.
Well, so far, 9 turns in, you haven't blamed the game, which is better than I did in my first 20 hours of play.
This game is broken!
It actually got to the point where I got so angry with the previous edition of it that I smacked my keyboard off the table over and over again and refused to ever play it again. Unfortunately, the allure of this game is too strong at times, so...
It's interesting the way that when you first... Dang it! It's interesting the way that when you first start playing this game, you're like, I don't get this at all. This is so dumb. You know what? I'm ignoring it. I don't even care. It's fine. She's badly hurt.
It's the least
crying.
worst injury that could happen.
But I had the same thing where when I started playing this, I was like, I don't know about this game. And now I spend like a decent number of minutes of my life playing it. No, ref!
Didn't do anything. You're cool.
Ref! He's right there! The ref is looking at you guys! This is such BS!
It's not like we paid him off before the game or anything.
Oh, come on, ref.
Alright, and I think that's pretty much all I can do, so let's end the turn. Just bear in mind the consequences of potentially getting that blitzer up.
Yeah.
You can get her up and maybe try and dodge out of, I think that's 3 tackle zones worth of dwarves. It's tricky. Your line woman has a decent shot of getting out of that scrum, but it's up to you. I'm still feeling actually dreadful about this. I just want to point this out.
No, don't worry about it. It's fine.
This is the reason I told you not to roll halflings.
No, I understand now.
Yeah, if you'd rolled halflings, then that injury box would probably be double what it is. It turns out it's really hard to win a game if you have no players on the pitch.
Yeah. You know.
I'm trying to see kind of what possibilities there are for you here. There's a few. It involves your throw and catcher being absolute ballers, but it can happen.
They're not ballers, though.
Well, they're getting there. They're ballers in training, right?
They're baby ballers. Yeah. Oh.
That's some tackle zones, but bear in mind, you have the dodge skill. And your blitzer gets out of there because, hey, hobgoblins are really bad at doing anything.
Because hobgoblins are not...
They're pretty rubbish.
anyone to worry about,
No,
really.
not until they start gaining skills. They're like... they're just dreadful. They're cheap and occasionally trustworthy. They're really good at kicking people when they're down. That's what I make them for. Oh, nice.
Yes!
Very cool.
Oh, you did it,
You
girl.
rolled a 6 on that one. That was pretty hardcore. And I believe your dodge skill still works for the plus modifier. It's just it cancels out the re-roll on tackle, so it's not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Do I want to try to move her? Is the big question. I just don't know.
Well, I mean, if you think of what's probably going to happen next turn, is all of my Chaos Dwarf blockers are going to get bored of standing on that line. They're going to come right at you. Anything that can avoid that happening is probably a good thing for you.
That is true.
And it's at that point, it's like, are you trying to win the game or are you trying to avoid injuries? In which case, you could play keep away and pass between players to earn skill points and basically set up situations where you can gang up on my players.
Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. No!
Well, she got out of the front line. I mean, she's going to get back up next turn, so that's not too bad. If she'd been injured from that, that would have been a problem for you. All right, well, I've got a bunch of hobgoblins that are actually going to throw terrible rolls against you here, so that's pretty bad. But I do have 6 Chaos Dwarves that currently look like some kind of infernal Tetris piece that are ready for some battling. So that might happen.
Bring it.
Well, I can't safely blitz your thrower. In fact, my Hobgoblin would throw double reds against you here.
I thought you were gonna say, "Well, I can't safely bring it."
It's like I can. There is
really funny to me for some reason.
There is a statistical likelihood that I can bring it, right? But there are certain inherent risks within the bringing it, so I have to carefully consider
right, of course.
the consequences of bringing it, weigh up the risks, and decide whether or not it's a good idea. And my conclusion so far is that it may be worthwhile to bring it.
Fascinating.
I know. I'm just a dreadful commentator. Okay, let's... I can 2-dice splits right in there, potentially.
I do love the Chaos Dwarf beards.
Oh, yes. I'm actually more of a fan of the hats, really. I think that's pretty classic.
Nah.
Unfortunately, he's got tackle. So, oh, Jesus.
Somebody else pick that up. No.
Who's getting it?
You are, I
the
think.
dwarf actually managed to pick up the ball.
The dwarf picked it up.
It's incredible in and of itself.
Oh, my goodness. Do you see how many ladies are in here? Everyone watching right now. Just soak it in. Soak it all in.
They're all having a bit of a rest. Let's just say that they need to gather their
man.
thoughts for the next match. Because realistically speaking, it's going to take some dedication to... Yeah.
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 Yeah. Let's be honest, you got dicked over on the matches here. Like, there was no...
No, it's okay.
There was no team that would have been worse for you to start off against. No team had... Oh, crap.
This is my trial by fire, TB.
Yeah.
I'm going to rise from the ashes.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the hope.
That's my... I mean, that's what I'm telling everyone to make myself feel better.
MMA failing to do anything. God damn it. He's got some passion issues, clearly. Alright, well, this is an unpleasant situation for pretty much every player nearby. Which is kind of the point. Alright. Okay. It's your turn. You still have 3 rerolls and about as many players.
Oh my gosh, and everyone is red dice.
Yes. There is under no circumstances do you want to be fighting here. So maybe you want to try and gang up on the Chaos Dwarf blocker to get the ball from him, or maybe you just don't want to be anywhere near me.
No.
That was really unlucky.
You don't know it, but my head's down on my desk right now.
I've been there, man. I feel ya. I feels ya. Don't worry, I feels ya. Because this is unpleasant. This is more unpleasant than I expected it to be. It's rough. On the 2 dice, I need you to get out of the way of the Chaos Dwarf because he really wants to.
Because he has stuff to do.
Yeah, he really wants to go over here, and he might want to get to your end zone if possible. Which, well, what have I got? I've got a blitz. I could throw that, and I also have a potential foul that I could throw. Everyone's going to hate me. They're going to call me a power gaming fuck. You know this.
No.
They will. They're going to hate me for this. This is dreadful.
This isn't your fault. This is the dice's fault.
Oh, MMA.
The dice's fault.
MMA is sent off.
Yeah. That's what's up, ref. I feel you, ref.
Well, I'm actually now down to 10 players. So, I mean, you're still down to 5 if your guys get back up. But, you know, just saying.
Well, I have 3 on the field right now. So
2 of them are kind of lying down a bit, which is probably not the worst thing for them to do. I can still gang up and foul them with all of my players, but even then. It's, I suppose, the difference between sort of trying to play the most optimal game possible and being a colossal dick. And
wait, she could move a second ago. Why can't she move anymore?
could she? I'm just trying to think in which direction. I mean, she could dodge out of about 5 million tackle zones.
That was so weird. Okay, well, neither of them can hit anyone. Or
Well, they can. Your Blitzer could actually blitz that Chaos Dwarf blocker. She's not got an awful chance of winning that fight either. The question is, can you get out of that tackle
No,
zone?
I mean, like, they literally can't because they both stood up.
Oh, they both stood up. Oh, right. Okay. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. And they both... This one said that she could move, and now when I click on her, she can't move. Okay, I have one girl who can move, and she's surrounded.
Oh, the one in the middle there? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's something like you've got to, when you get up, you've got to move them at that point.
I thought you didn't, though. I feel like I've tested that before.
I can't remember.
That's
Blood
okay.
Bowl's rules are stupid and convoluted at times, and Cyanide does a really poor job of explaining them. Which is unfortunate.
Oh my gosh. Do I just... This is so ridiculous.
I'm
okay.
really sorry.
No. No, TV, it's fine. This is gonna make me stronger. Do I even try this? I'm going to.
You gonna take a risk?
Oh my gosh, she's gonna die.
Are you seriously gonna do what I think you're about to do?
Oh.
It's either that or she's gonna get smacked by like 5 Chaos Dwarves.
I know, that's the thing, is I'm like, she's gonna get hit either way.
That did not go well.
She got badly hurt! Oh, God.
Oh.
This is the worst. This is the worst.
Oh, God. At least most of those injuries are badly hurt. Like, that means they'll be back next game, so...
I know.
You know, you don't really have, like...
Well, not necessarily. Sometimes with their injury, it's like, miss a game.
Yeah, that's,
I
think, was
Yay.
it broken jaw, I think is miss a game. Badly hurt is not. So, all of your badly hurt, which is pretty much everyone except for the one with the broken ribs. And
I have 6 badly hurt, 1 dead, and 2 that are knocked out right now.
Alright, well, I don't have too many blocks I can throw here. Nuffle is not being kind to me. There we go.
He's not being kind to you? He's not being kind to you, TV?
Well...
We are not talking. We are not talking about that.
I wonder what... I've actually never seen what happens if you remove every player from the field. Should we try and see what happens?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it.
Let's find out, because I'm going to make it very, very likely...
I'm actually curious as well, so...
I'm going to make it very likely that this foul is going to work. And the way that I'm going to do that is by surrounding her with every player I have. Alright, so I think this is... Let's find out how many modifiers we got here. So, this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 7 modifier on injury rolls. So let's see how this works out. And she still doesn't leave the field. God damn it.
Oh. Wait, you can just hit her with another dude,
nope,
though,
you can
right?
only foul
And
once a
has
turn.
the same modifier?
Only foul once a turn. Yep.
Really?
That's why sometimes it's good to keep your players down, because it's like, well, he can throw 6 blocks at me, or he can throw 1 foul, you know? So...
Well, I mean, you can get a touchdown,
Yes.
and then I can try to get a touchdown with 1 girl on the field.
You 2 of you KO'd people might get back up again. We'll see. We're going to find that out momentarily. It seems like they should have eaten some zombie by the looks of it. And...
No one's getting it. Oh!
She's brave.
1 girl.
So it's currently 2 on 10. With... And the worst thing is, they're both going to have to go onto the front line. I am very sorry. Oh, God, I'm a terrible person.
No, you didn't know, TB. You didn't know.
I had a feeling. Oh, is that only...
Oh, here's the other girl. Why is she all the way down?
Because she doesn't have any interest in being involved in the frontline scrim, and I don't blame her.
She's like, look, I'm
This
just
is
going to
just
hang
silly.
out at the touchdown line, and when you figure out your shit, we'll talk.
Yeah, if you can avoid the front line, I'm pretty sure you can't. Maybe there's an exception in the rules that lets you do that.
I'm going to try.
Oh, by all means, try. Yeah, because that is just... I wouldn't want to have 2 Amazons
Oh, but I'm getting the kickoff.
next to 5
Wait.
Chaos Dwarves. It's probably going to put them back on the front line. But it put them on the front line in a place
at the corners,
that...
that's nice of them.
Yeah, that's actually... That was a problem with my formation, actually. That didn't spread my guys out, so I can't actually get 2 dice blocks against you here. So, that's decent. And we both get extra rerolls. Yay!
Oh, yay.
And the ball's all the way over there. And it's your turn.
Well,
might I make a suggestion? Don't block. Actually, no. I mean, there's... Because you want to be up against one... I'm pretty sure... Can you throw 1 dice blocks against these guys? Or,
yeah, I can.
you might want to do that, you know. It's like... What's statistically the most likely thing? You can throw a 1 dice block, or you can try and dodge.
I definitely can't reach the ball.
Yeah,
so...
but you could free up your line woman to actually get to the ball maybe next turn. Like, yeah.
That is
so
true.
push him away. Don't follow, obviously, because that just gets you in the middle of a bunch of Chaos Dwarves. So so the only way I can now hit it is with a blitz. And same with them. And I can only blitz once a turn, remember. So I can lock one of you down. I mean, I could obviously try and surround you, but my Chaos Dwarf is really bad at that, so... It's also a case of keep away, right? So you don't get injured anymore.
Right.
I mean, it's not going to help a huge amount, but
like,
it's better than nothing,
away.
right? And, oh, it looks like we're pushing.
Yeah.
Okay, we're pushing. Right. Well, that's my blitz wasted.
It was quite the strong push.
Okay. It's a bit of a shove, bit of argy-bargy. Alright. Alright, I'm not making it unlikely for you to get out of this zone or anything, but...
This looks doable.
Basically, it's what I like to call the challenge diamond, right? And your Amazon has entered the challenge diamond. This will be an interesting experience for her.
I had to be a line woman. I couldn't be a blitzer.
You don't have any of those left. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm aware. I'm painfully aware.
Alright. Now, I can set up another challenge diamond. It's going to involve something... It's going to involve me rolling dice, but I can do it. Nope. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna go into that tackle zone, and I'm gonna see... and I rolled a 1. And I'm gonna re-roll it. And I rolled another 1,
Oh, I'm so sad for you.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. The sarcasm is just dripping from your pores here.
I don't know what you mean. Okay. Well, I mean, cool.
You are in the challenge diamond. The question is, will you prevail?
Really, all I'm doing right now is challenge diamond, so...
You've been practicing challenge diamond. Good. It does make things a little difficult, let's just say.
It's just a smidgen.
It's not possible. Oh... Are you kidding me?
Yeah!
Are you kidding me? Holy
That's
crap.
what's up.
That is ridiculous. You literally broke 4 tackle zones. Jesus. Unfortunately, looks... Oh my god,
Yeah!
You have succeeded in the challenge diamond.
And I guess that's the end of my turn.
That was quite literally the worst place you could have put her, because now I can shove you out of the court, but regardless, you succeeded in the challenge diamond. That is worthy...
I got out of the challenge diamonds,
which
which really was my goal.
Yeah. So, what I'm going to do is allow you to celebrate your victory with the crowd. Because the crowd... I mean, the crowd loves a winner, right? Yeah.
They do.
So, I mean, it's not like they would do anything horrible.
Oh no! Stop! No!
The fans came to say hi. It's...
Oh! As I melt into the ground.
Yes.
And now one remains.
I don't think you're actually... I don't think that actually counted as an injury. No, it didn't. She actually survived that. She can get back in after the drive. So...
Aw, yes.
I have 2 turns. Can I get to the ball in 2 turns? I'm really terrible, so probably not. I can try. It's going to involve tackle zones more. That won't. Alright. We're going for it. We're going for it. We're going for it. We're going for it. We are not falling flat on our ass. Great. That's good news for everybody. Well, me. And now we're going to make a new shape. I don't know what to call this yet. This is the Challenge Triforce. Not as tough as the Challenge Diamond, but more interesting from an aesthetic point of view.
Definitely.
Now I'm going to ruin it. Now everyone hates me because I ruined the Triforce. Okay. Oh, I'm about to fall flat on my ass.
Now it's the challenge tractor.
Is it? Huh, I guess it is.
It looks kind of like a tractor, right? Maybe
it's a bit abstract. Maybe I'm just not creative enough. I never was known as an artistic sort. Okay, so your turn should be fairly swift.
Mm-hmm.
You must now attempt to break the challenge tractor, which it turns out is not going to work.
Tractors are too much for me.
All right. Are we going to
Diamonds were okay.
Are we going to attempt to knock the last player off the pitch again?
I mean, why not?
It's worth a shot. Like, and we're going to have fun with it.
This way, everybody knows what happens.
Yeah, because I have no idea, actually. All right.
Okay,
let's see. And she is KO'd.
Okay, she's out.
Off.
All right. And now what happens?
There's literally no one left
Automatic
on the pitch
win?
at all. So the last thing I have to do is go and try and pick up the ball, which I'm going to fail to do magnificently.
Oh! Wait, what happens on a turnover now?
That's a good question. Apparently nothing.
Oh, wait,
I guess I get another turn.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You actually have no players on the field.
That makes sense, yeah.
Right. So there is a possibility that I may not score a touchdown here because Ryung the Hobgoblin is legendary for not being able to do anything with the ball at all. But it looks like he's going to get it. He's getting it. He's getting it. Ryung the Hobgoblin with that last-minute touchdown.
Oh, man.
Does his nice little victory dance. And that, I believe, would be the end of the game since...
I believe that's the end of the game,
There are no players left on the pitch to stop the Chaos Dwarves.
End of match.
I am really sorry.
Oh, man. I have to say that was worse than I was expecting.
I'm kind of stunned, really. I've got to say, I was very lucky at a lot of different times, and I think you got seriously unfortunate in a lot of different ways. That's pretty rough.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Do you think, was there anything that you think I consistently did that put me behind, that I should have thought through better?
Being in a position to have a lot of basically Chaos Dwarves throwing 2-dice blocks at you. Like, with an Amazon team, you've got to play keep away, and when you do damage, you've got to do it in a situation where you know they can't punch you back. Because Amazons are pretty good at doing damage. They're not bad at all. But they've got thin armor, which means you want to do damage, and this is actually something I can tell you did wrong. You followed up a lot. Like, you followed into the middle of a bunch of other dudes where you should have just said, nope, I'm not going to go there. And that's like the best thing you can do as an Amazon team, because it means less tackle zones, and even if the guy gets back up, you just dodge out, right? So it doesn't matter.
Right.
That's probably the only thing I would have said. I mean, you got really unlucky. But such is the way of Blood Bowl, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Such is the way of Blood Bowl. You will have inducements next round. You will have loner players to replace to get you back up to 11, essentially. And who knows? I mean, to be fair, the Amazons versus Chaos Dwarves is maybe the worst matchup anyone could ever hope to have because of the way tackle... Just consider this. I don't think there's any other team in the entire tournament that has tackle. So that's a huge deal. That means you're going to win a lot more fights because you've got that dodge. And that means that any stumble result is not going to do anything to you. Whereas with my tackling players, it does. So that's what I would say.
All right. Well, I'm going to work hard, and I'm still coming for you.
Yep. You won't have to play me again unless you make it to the playoffs. You've got plenty of others. And, oh, my winnings suck and yours don't. Nuffle screws me at the last moment. I can re-roll these, and in fact, I'm going to do that. I re-roll them, and I get 50.
Nuffle.
You still made more money than me. Oh.
Woo!
Suckage.
Silver linings, man.
There you go. You got 60,000 gold pieces, which is a pretty decent number there. One other thing I would say, just one little tip, don't use that apothecary so early, because that apothecary could have prevented that death. And because you burned it on the... It's tempting to do it because the chances are your apothecary can actually cure like a KO, so it means your guy could stay on the field. But think about it this way. Your player's KO'd, he's not going to get punched. And if your player dies, it doesn't matter if he gets punched, because he's not going to notice.
Right.
So,
So when somebody goes down and the skull comes up, does it offer you...
Yes.
The possibility of using the apothecary, and you know that death is the other option?
Yeah, basically an apothecary lets you re-roll the injury result and then pick the one you want. So it's like a 5 in 6 chance that your player won't die, which is a really good roll to take.
That is a really... Okay.
So I would...
I've never taken the time to use it on somebody who was possibly going to die, so I've never known what that looks like.
That's what
okay,
it looks
that's
like,
good to know.
There you go. All right, folks. So that was the our first match of the Blood Bowl League. I'm still really sorry, and everyone's gonna hate
all right.
me now.
We're still friends.
But you know, there's worse things that could have happened. Like you only had one death.
I did only have one death. I'm going to look after this and see how many of my girls are out of the next game.
Not too many, actually. I think it's only, well, your dead player's obviously out. She's not going to be contributing much, but
I'm gonna look right now. Oh, it looks like none of them.
Oh, really?
None of them are out. Is that right?
I thought there was one that was missing the next game, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's only one that's out aside from the dead one. So you've got. Did you have 11 players to begin with?
Yeah, and it's saying that nobody's died. Wait a minute.
Oh, under the player statistics, I just don't think it's actually listing those yet.
Oh, okay. It'll load up later.
Yeah, it will. Also, Panthro gets MVP on your team, by the way. That
yeah,
means
go
that's
Panthro.
skill points, so that's always good. You definitely want that. So
Awesome.
Panthro did well there. And that, I think, is that. So there we go, folks. The first game of the TGS Blood Bowl League from myself and Dodger.
Woohoo!
I'm going to go and just, like, wrestle with my ethics now.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
I'm gonna go and order myself like 4 people's worth of Chinese food.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're both gonna spend our evenings doing good things.
I think so. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and I will see you next time.
So long.